Good evening, friends. Hope you're all doing good. Nice to see you all. We'll get started. So today I'm going to talk about data types. Okay, we'll call we call it as Numpy. This is advanced data type. Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay, so far in terms of data type, we have seen basic data types like string, float, integer, complex, Boolean, right? Then we saw list, tuple, dictionary, set. As part of that, next one that we're going to talk about is called Numpy. Numpy is used to mimic matrices. Okay, so everything or every topic that you have learned in matrices can be implemented using our Numpy. Okay, so Numpy is a two-dimensional array, right? Numpy is a two-dimensional array. So first, okay, let's see how to create Numpy, how to create a matrix-like structure or Numpy-like structure. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, as I said, today we'll talk about Numpy. Numpy is a matrix-like array structure. Okay, so to work with Numpy, you have to import Numpy. Okay, you have to say import Numpy as NP. You have to import this. Okay, so whenever you're working with Numpy, you have to import Numpy, right? Okay, then I'm going to create a Numpy object. Okay, so let's say I create data, okay, and I use range. We have already seen range, isn't it? What does range do? Range takes 3 parameters. Okay, so when you give just one, I have gave one here. So start value is 0. Okay, end equal to 16. So up to excluding, right? If you remember, we discussed this in our loop. This was the first data that we used for creating loops for I in range. So range generates range of values. Okay, so start is 0, end is 16, and you have increment, right? Increment is default 1. So range will generate values from 0. So 0, and since increment is 1, next value will be 0 plus 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on up to 16. So 15 will be printed. Okay, so this is how we use okay, range. Now we have generated range of values. We will convert this range of values as Numpy before printing. Okay, okay, make sense? Okay, so let's see how to put this in a format. Okay, let's see how to put this in a format. So we have a function called as, okay, I'm going to call it as matrix or mat1 numpy. Okay, so NP I'm representing for Numpy. isn't it? So I'm going to say numpy np dot, okay, np dot reshape. Okay, reshape is a function which will help us to shape the input data. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, so sorry. So now I'm going to reshape this data. So we have values from 0 to 15, but I want to present it and to display the value as a matrix. I want to display as a matrix. So I'm going to use reshape function of numpy. Okay, so reshape. Okay, what do we want to reshape? We want to reshape the data, right? The values in data. So I want to reshape values in data. Okay, great. Now, after doing this, what? After doing this, we have to give in which format you want to reshape. Okay, which format you want to reshape. Okay, so this is the data, and what shape do you want to give? Okay, so I want to give 4 by 4. So I'll say 4 comma 4. 4 comma 4. Okay, okay, 4 comma 4 will create a 4 by 4 matrix. Okay, now let's print this and see. Print mat1. So see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 0 to 15 values has been reshaped, okay, as your matrix. Since we said 4 by 4, it created a 4 by 4 matrix. Okay, we can create 8 by 2. First value is number of rows, second value is number of columns. Okay, first is always rows. Okay, so in tuple we are giving rows comma columns. Okay, so if I say here, okay, reshape 8 comma 2, so number of rows will be 8 and number of columns is going to be 2. Let's run this and see. See, number of rows 8 and columns we have is 2. Similarly, we can give 2 comma 8. If we give 2 comma 8, it becomes 2 rows and 8 columns. 2 rows and 8 columns. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Let's say I try to do 5 into 2. What happens? Okay, we have 16 values, 0 to 15, and I'm saying 5 comma 2. 5 comma 2 needs 10 values only, but we're providing 16 values. So it threw an error because 16 values could not be put as 5 by 2 because 5 by 2, okay, needs 10 only 10 values. Okay. So 10 values, we are giving more values. That's why, okay, it is not able to format. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Now, same thing, if I give more also, okay, if I give 15 by 2, I will need 30 values. And I have got only 16. So the number of values that you give and the values that you give in reshape, okay, should match. Okay, 4 by 4 needs 16 values. So if you give less than 16 or more than 16, it will not be able to form your matrix. It will form only, it will give you only error. Okay. Okay. Now, how to create, let's say, okay. So this is 8 by 2, right? Okay, or let's make it 2 by 8. So you'll get 2 rows and 8 columns. Okay. Now you want to create, say, a matrix with only zeros. You want matrix with only zeros. Okay. So we can do with zeros. Okay. In that case, we have to say here, say, matrix 2 equal to, okay, np dot zeros. Okay, so zeros means it'll create 0. So it needs the size, right? What is the matrix size? I'm going to say 3 by 3 or 4 by 3. Okay, or let's say 3 by 4. 3 rows and 4 columns. Okay, and now I say mat2. See, these all zeros. Okay. Now, if I have to do, let's say, ones, I'm going to say mat3 equal to np dot ones. Okay, and I give 3 comma 3. Print mat3. Still create ones. Okay, so 3 rows, 3 columns. It has all ones, isn't it? Now let's say I want to create a matrix with all twos. How will I do? Okay, I want all twos only. Okay, so no, we don't have twos. Okay, we have something called as full. Okay, so I'm going to say here mat4 equal to np dot full. Okay, and then here you pass the size. I want 4 by 4. Okay, and at last you say whichever value you want. You want 2, then 2. You want 3, 3. If you want 4, you say 4. Whatever, right? So full will give same values. So here first we have to tell the size, followed by which number you want to put. So I'm going to say print mat4. Okay, you get all fours here. Okay, so this is how you can create all fours. Okay, so this is about creating matrices. Now, how do we access the member? Okay, how do we access the member? Okay, or okay, so let's say we want to give a, okay, let's say, okay, we'll give, so right now we are doing using range or using, same values. Okay, so instead, let me use how to give specific values. Okay, I'm going to give specific values. Okay, the values that I want to give. Okay, so in that case, we have to create list of lists. Okay, create list of lists, and then okay, convert it into matrix. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to say data equal to list of list. So list, okay, is where we put the values. Now depending upon how many rows you want. Okay, so if you want 3 rows, so you have to create 3 lists inside this main list. Main list is used for adding all the values, and if you want 3 rows, you have to add 3 lists here. Now you give the values that you want it to be displayed there. So I can give 2, 5, 4. Here I can say 1, 0, 1, and here I'll say 3, 5, 2. This is your data. Okay. Now I'll have to, so this is list, right? So if I print type here, type of data, I'll get list because it's a list, right? It's a list. So how do I convert into Numpy? You have to say numpy.array. Okay, I'm going to say mat5 equal to numpy.array of data. Okay, of course, now if you print mat, I'm going to print mat5 and I'm going to see the type of this. Type of mat5. So see, this is the matrix, okay, of the data that we give. 254 101 352, and the data type is numpy.nd array, n-dimensional array. Okay, that's what it means, numpy. Okay, this is how you can create your numpy object. Okay. Awesome. Now what do we do? Let's try to access the members from this. Okay, let's try to access some members. I want to know what is the element at 5th. No, we don't have 5, right? We have 3 by 3. Second row and second column. I want to access a member. Second row, second column. Okay. So second row, second column. Print mat5 of. Okay. Now we give comma here. Left of comma is the rows, is for rows, and right is for columns. Okay. So I want second row. So 2 is 1 here, right? Because counting starts from 0. Okay. So second means 1. And here also 1. Now when you run it, you get second row, second column. This is second row, second column, 0, isn't it? We got 0. So this is how you can access members of a NumPy. Okay. Now I want to access first row. First row. So I'll say print mat5 of 0. Now I am not giving column here. Okay, I'm not giving column. Or if you want, you can give comma colon. Colon means, okay, starting from beginning and go up to end. Okay, so you get same thing. Okay, you can say either this or you don't give column. Okay, just give row. Okay, column here blank means okay, start from 0 and go up to end of column, or you don't give column, right? Now I want okay, I want second and third row for first and second column. Second and third row for first and second column. Print mat 5, right? Comma. Here. Second and third. Second and third. Second say 1 colon blank. Why? Because that is the last, right? You can mention 4 or say last, because anyway third is the last one. Okay, third is the last one, right? So I can say directly last. Okay, and now what? Now for the column. Now for the column. Okay. Column is what? First and second. Okay. First and second. Okay. First means beginning from 0. Right? Okay. And go up to second. So I'll say 3. Okay. So we want second and third row. So this is first row. This is second and third row. Of what? Of, okay. We want second row only, right? So we have to put 2 here. 0 and 1 will be printed, isn't it? Sorry, 2. Okay. So you get 1, 0 and 3, 5. Second and third row of first and second column. Okay. So this is how you can access each member. Okay. So this is accessing Numpy data type. Now we'll talk about the arithmetic operations that we can perform on data on Numpy. Again, going back to your matrices classes, you must have done in your intermediate, isn't it? Okay, let's say this is our mat 5. Okay, and I'm going to create another 3 by 3 matrix. Mat 6. So data, I'm going to say 3, 4, 2, okay, 1, 2, 1, and 2, 5. Let's say, let's make it 3 only. Okay, so now mat 6. Okay, mat 5 and mat 6. Okay, let's print matrix 5 mat 5 matrix 6 is mat 6. Okay, so this is our matrix. Now how do we perform addition on these two? Perform addition. Okay, so I'm going to say print mat 5 plus mat 6 addition. Or you can even say print numpy dot add, and you give two matrices, mat 5 comma mat 6. If you run it, you get sum. Okay, so maybe I'll add here. So of giving as a hash, I'm going to put it in print. Okay, I put hash here, and I'm going to say, okay. So addition. So if you add these two matrices, 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 9, no, sorry, 5 plus 4, 9. 4 plus 2, 6. 1 plus 1, 2. 0 plus 2, 2. 1 plus 1, 2. Right? So this is how you can perform matrix addition. Okay? Addition. Next, we'll perform subtraction. Okay? Perform subtraction. So you say mat 5 minus mat 6, or simply you can say np dot subtract. Okay, so it will, okay, it will do subtraction. See this? Similarly, you can do multiplication too. Perform multiplication. Mat 5 into mat 6, or you say multiply. Okay, so let's go and see. This is mat 5 and mat 6. Okay, so 2 into 3, 6. 5 into 4, 20. 4 into 2, 8. Right? 1 into 1, 1. So see, it has performed multiplication. Each number of matrix 1 is multiplied with the other element of matrix 2. Okay? So this is how you can do multiplication. But again, if you remember your intermediate classes, this is not how we perform matrix multiplication. What you see here is simple multiplication. What you see above is simple multiplication, not matrix multiplication. It is not matrix multiplication. Okay, it is not matrix multiplication. Okay, matrix multiplication is different. Okay, now first we have to look at the condition. Okay, first we have to look at the condition of matrix multiplication. Okay. What is the condition for matrix multiplication to happen? We need to look at the number of rows. Need to compare number of rows and number of columns. Okay. So if you have matrix A, of size A into B, okay, that means A number of rows and B number of columns, and you have B, which is, okay, M number of rows and N number of columns. So then for A into B, A matrix multiplication, matmul B. Now order is important here. A into B is not same as B into A. Okay. For matmul matmul B to happen, the column of A, that is B, should be equal to M. B should be equal to M. Okay, that's the condition. And output matrix is A into M. Okay, so this is the condition. B should be equal to M. Okay, and the output is A into N. Okay, great. Now, if we have to do for B matmul A, then B matmul A, right? So number of columns here is N. N should be equal to, okay, A. And your output matrix is, okay, M into B. M into B. No, yes, M into B. Number of rows from B and number of columns from A. Okay, this is how output is. Okay, and then how do we multiply? Okay, so, okay, look at the assignment. I'm not going to do it. Please refer your matrix chapter or textbook for calculation step. Okay, for this it is simply matmul. You do matmul. Okay, so print, okay, print, you say mat5 at the rate mat6, or you say mat5, okay, sorry, at the rate we already done, right? You have to say np dot matmul, and then you pass here mat5 comma mat6. That's it. Okay, this is your matrix multiplication. Matrix multiplication is not a simple multiplication. It's not a simple multiplication. Okay. Now what? Let's look at the division. Okay. Division is simply, I'm going to say print perform division. How do you perform division? You simply say print mat 5 divided by mat 6. Okay. Or you say np dot divide. Okay. Mat 5 comma mat 6. Okay. Matrix multiplication is different. Otherwise, everything is dividing each element by each element. Okay. Okay. You also have something called dot multiplication. What is dot multiplication? Can you put in the chat? What is dot multiplication in matrix? Anyone? So dot multiplication, okay, is is about dot product, okay, between first rows of first matrix and the columns of second matrix. Okay. So if I run this, okay, I have to say print mat5 dot dot and mat6. This is how you perform dot multiplication. Okay, you can try that and see. Okay, do you see any similarity between matrix multiplication? Yes. So it is for you to now explore what is dot multiplication. Okay, what is dot multiplication? Explore. Okay, so these are some of the operations that we perform on matrix. Okay. I want to know if I have a matrix and I want to know what is the number of elements, number of rows and columns. Okay, so I'm going to say print. Okay, print np dot shape, and I'm going to say mat6. This is going to tell me the shape of matrix 6, 3 by 3. 3 by 3 indicates it has 3 rows and 3 columns. Number of rows and columns in matrix 6. Okay, so it'll tell you 3 by 3. We'll look at some of the operations that we perform on matrix. Tomorrow we'll solve an equality problem, linear algebra problem. Tomorrow we will solve a linear algebra problem using Numpy. Okay. Okay. What else can we do? Slicing we have done. Okay, so let's say if you want to print all the elements in a flat format. So we have something called as flat. mat6 dot flat. Okay, now flat is not a function. It returns the values. Okay, it will return the object. If you want to see the values, you have to iterate through it. Okay, so we need to iterate through values using flat. Okay, so here I'll say, instead of doing mat6, I'm going to say home. Okay, so for E, okay, E for element, that's what I meant, in mat6 dot flat. And now I'm going to say print E. You see, 3, 4, 5, sorry, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 5. It has printed the elements in flat format. Okay, just like putting it as a single, you can say single dimension. Putting as a single dimension. Yes. Then what else can we do? Tomorrow we'll because linear algebra will take time. We'll do tomorrow. Okay, let's try to plot a sine graph. I will plot a sine graph. Now we haven't done plotting. We will do towards our weekend. Okay, so maybe Friday or Saturday we'll do plotting. Okay. Matplotlib, okay, is Matplotlib is a library using which we can do plot. Okay, so we'll use Matplotlib to do the plot. Okay, maybe on okay, so see, tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll do linear algebra. Thursday we'll start with pandas. Friday and Saturday we can do plotting. Okay, pandas and plotting we'll do 3 days, and next week Monday and Tuesday we'll do data science. Okay, so next Tuesday, exactly 1 week from now, we will end. Next Tuesday we will end, and the last 2 days I have kept aside for doubts and discussing about data science. What data science is, what do you expect in data science, what are different types of learning, what are different types of algorithms. Okay, and on Tuesday we will do one algorithm. We'll do regression algorithm, and we will conclude our class on Tuesday. Okay, so let's say I want to plot this graph. Okay, so as I said, right, to plot we need Matplotlib. So I'm going to say import mat. Okay, see, I don't have Matplotlib. I need to install Matplotlib. How do you install? You have to go to that, okay, terminal. Okay, in PyCharm you can go directly to your command prompt. Okay, or you can, if you are using PyCharm, you can do it from here. So for example, I go to tools, no, view tool windows, and you see terminal here. I'm going to terminal. Okay, now terminal, I need to go to the path of my, from where Python is installed. Okay, so I don't know. So let me run this again. I'm going to run my program. Okay, when you run this program here, okay, in your Python, okay, if you see here, This is where the Python is installed. This is my Python location. Okay, this is a Python location, and this is my file location. This is my Python location. This is my file location. Okay, so I need to go to this location, install my library here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this path here up to 310. Okay, Python home means up to 310, not python.exe, right? This is where my Python is. Python 310. This is the folder where my Python is installed. I need to copy this path. I need to go to this location. So I can use command prompt or PyCharm. Okay, so let me use PyCharm. I'm going to view, tool windows, terminal. Okay, and here I'm going to say cd home location, not cd path. I'm here. I'm at Python installation location. Here I'm going to say pip install. Now this is a process of installing all the libraries. If it is not there, you come here and say pip install matplotlib. Okay. So it is going to install matplotlib for us. Okay. Important. Any package which is not there, you can install using this. So matplot is now installed. So if I go to a program now, and if I say import mat, see matplotlib has come. It wasn't there before. After installation, it is showing here. So I'm saying import matplotlib. Dot, it has pyplot. Okay, this is going to give us the screen on which we will draw all our plot. Okay, and instead of saying matplotlib.pyplot every time, I will give an alias. Import this as plt. Okay, now let's generate range of values. I'm going to say x because data will be on x-axis. I'm going to say np.arange. np.arange does same work what range does. Okay, so I'm saying generate values from 0, okay, up to, okay, up to, I'll say 3 into np dot pi. Okay, so pi is the pi value, right? And I'm saying 3 times pi value. Pi is 3 point something. So 3 times of that is almost 10, isn't it? So I'm generating 0 to 10, and at what interval? 0.3. So it will generate 0, 0.3, 0.6, 0.9, so on up to 10. So this is your x. Now on y-axis, I will calculate the sine of. So NP has sine, tan, okay, sine, cosine, cos, tan, all those things you can access using Numpy. Okay, Numpy has all the formulas that you will see in Excel. It has mathematical formula like sine, cosine. Okay, all those mathematical formulae are there in Numpy. So assignment is just go and look at the official documentation of Numpy. Okay, in Google you type official documentation of Numpy, and you will get all the information about Numpy. Okay, so I'm going to use sine, and I'm going to find sine of x. So in x-axis, I have drawn line from 0 to 10, and for every 0.3 interval, I'm finding the sine value. Now I will simply say plot plt dot plot, okay, x comma y, as simple as that. Okay, you want to display it on the screen, we'll say plt dot show. So the plot will be shown to us. Okay, now when I run it, okay, it is going to generate plot for us. Okay, sign value. So we saw the sine curve. Okay. So this is an example of how to plot using sine graph. How to plot sine graph using Numpy. So we calculated sine value, and then we simply said plot x and y. So x is normal values, okay? X is your range 0 to 10, and y is np dot sine of x. Sine of x will have the sine value of each of the x value. Now you say np dot plot x comma y. It has drawn this plot for us. Okay, so this is how we can draw plot, and Friday we'll see more such examples. Okay, so we'll stop here. Today we have covered Numpy. Okay, how to declare Numpy, how to declare values or convert values declared by range or using a list into Numpy, how to access each member, what are different mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, matrix multiplication, dot product, etc. Tomorrow, okay, important topic we'll discuss how to use this. One of the application of Numpy is to solve a linear algebra problem. So you must have all seen this, right? Father was 4 times age of his son 3 years back. Now he's 3 times his age. What are their ages? That kind of thing. When it's linear, the degree of the variable is 1. Okay, it becomes 2, it becomes quadratic equation. If the degree of the x is 3, it becomes cubic equation. We are not getting into cubic or quadratic. We'll solve simple linear linear algebra problems where the degree of xy will be 1 only, not xy, that is 2 degree. Okay, so any questions before we wrap up? Okay, if there are no questions, we'll end it here, guys. I'll upload the content, okay, in the same location. Please practice. Okay, we are almost nearing the end. Okay, few more days. Okay, in fact, now we have only 5 more days to go. Okay, 4 days in this, no, 6 days. Okay, 4 days in this week and 2 days in next week. Okay, so please practice. Hope you are able to follow what I'm saying. Please let me know if you're able to understand, and I hope you have gained some knowledge. Okay, I've been able to help you to start programming in Python. Okay, please watch videos, please practice the programs. Okay, within 10 to 15 days, I'm sure you will become expert in this. Of course, I'm not saying expert as in full expert, because everybody is learning. Even I am learning new everything every day, but you will be able to comfortably start doing programs in Python. Okay, so okay, then we will stop here. We will see you tomorrow, next class. Okay, take care. Bye, everyone.